K for Koudelka. He's a monster of energy, of passion, of talent. He has, as I have written already, the rage to see, and he sees better than anyone. He's one of those meteors that cross the history of photography, untouched by any influence, unclassifiable. A great figure, a great friend too. So who is Koudelka? That's a question that is fundamental. He's a person with multiple traits.
Josef Koudelka is one of the most important and respected figure in the world photography today. He is a very humble man and he is living very simple life, not to be disturbed by anything from his focus on photography.
I remember when I was first getting to know Josef Koudelka about 35 years ago, he impressed me as being one of the most disciplined people I'd ever met. People hear these stories about Josef Koudelka, that he lives like a gypsy or something like that. Well, all of that is, I found very quickly that all of that's really true. It's not really an exaggeration. He was living on the road. He was sleeping on the floor. He photographs during the warm months of the year while he's traveling, and he works intensely in the winter months on projects when he's not traveling.
Koudelka is a lone wolf. He only needs his camera and himself.
One central thing about Josef Koudelka's life is the apparent paradoxes that present themselves when you look at him. And it starts with the paradox of being very disciplined and passionate about work, and at the same time taking the freedom and the liberty to act in ways that are not conventional in any kind of normal societal understanding of being somebody who is a little bit on the margins of society and being an outsider.
Is incredibly vast, precise, and varied body of work. I think it is that entirety of his work that creates the value of what he has given to the world, and then putting them together one next to the other to realize such a coherent and such an insightful way of looking at the world.
In all these series, and part of his work is immense interest in humanity, human life. We can consider him as a humanist photographer, definitely.
For this project, I had the immense privilege of getting the permission granted by Josef Koudelka to delve into his archive of over 30,000 35mm contact sheets, which means well over 1 million of images, actually. It was like delving into a whole cosmos of work that he's done between 1960 and 2012.
I think this is a terrific exhibition because I've looked at other people's contact sheets in some depth. But in Josef's in the early years and looking at also Lars's selections, I was amazed by how much he was recording his own biography. You could tell that he'd given the camera to somebody else to photograph him in these situations. It was really much more so than I'd seen in some other photographers.
This exhibition uncovers something that wasn't seen before. You can see a little bit how he is working about processes, and you see some things from his archive. So people can learn more about what is behind the scenes, what is behind photographs. And I think it's interesting always to see.